you're the
Grinch!
Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? A title fight is brewing. That's right, this season, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is a man who's all toasty inside, Joe Vekeman.
I'm toasty.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is TiVo. We're still here, probably. Remember all those good times you had not watching commercials? Now you owe us. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week?
We watched Ron Howard's masterpiece.
Uh-huh.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes, much more successful than its Middle Eastern counterpart, How Ibn al-Grinch Stole Ramadan.
Jesus Christ.
Joe, what happens in this movie?
Well, I'm not going to do my bit where I was going to read the entire Grinch story to you just now.
Okay, that's nice of you.
On the outskirts of Whoville lives a green, revenge-seeking Grinch who plans to ruin Christmas for all of the citizens of the town.
Yes. All the Joes out in Joeville liked Christmas movies a lot, but Patrick, who lived just west of Joeville,
Oh, so you're the Grinch?
did not.
That's not true.
Patrick hated Christmas movies the whole award season. Now, please don't ask why. We all know the reason. It could be the Academy members were old, preferring lame stories that were already told. It could be that studios tampered with the voting, with bribes and with smears and with FYC showboating. That's as far as I got.
Okay, so I see why you didn't want me to read the book because you're stepping on your fucking bit.
All right, Joe. What?
Very nice. I like that.
So you are a big fan of Christmas movies. Where does this rank in your Christmas pantheon?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's fine, but this is head and shoulders above many Jim Carrey vehicles for me. And also many Ron Howard vehicles, like movies.
I'll give Ron Howard a little credit on this one, because this movie looked like it was on acid some of the time, and the directing style was similar to, like, live-action segments in those McDonald Land adventure home videos I watched.
It's a lot of practical shit, and it looks pretty great because it's practical. I think it looks pretty great. I mean, I am dazzled by this movie.
It looks much kookier than a Ron Howard film usually does, so it's got a little personality to it. I'll give him props for that. It was also a lot more interesting than the really, really, really boring 2018 version I sat through.
Why'd you watch that? I told you to not watch that.
Journalistic integrity.
Ugh, terrible.
It is. We just talked about, like, studios not trusting each other in trusting their audiences in the pre-show, but yeah, what a movie that is just like, well, nobody can have any bad personalities at all. Not even the Grinch, a story about a man with a bad personality.
The 2018 one?
Yes, 2018 one.
That is a dog shit movie that my kids loved when it came out. And I'm like, why do you like this? This is terrible. We have the Grinch at home. We don't need to go get the...
Well, do they like this Grinch too, or they only like...
Ellie liked this Grinch. Julian's still, like, on the fence with a lot of things.
He's in live action stuff scares him.
Neither of them like the 25-minute, was it Boris Karloff?
Yeah.
Who did that one?
That's the Chuck Jones, Boris Karloff one. Yes, I watched that too.
Succinct.
Succinct, but also, like, all three movies have to kill a lot of time.
Sure, but 25 minutes as opposed to whatever the Illumination one is. And this is what, an hour 45?
It's long. The 2018 one was really long, but also impressively had zero personality to it. They sucked all.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, Ron Howard, this is a fucking nuts camera shot you did, but I'm fine with it. It's ridiculous, but sure, it's better. I don't know. I think it says something. This film has Anthony Hopkins. The other film has Pharrell Williams, I think is the narrator.
Yeah.
Why? Just so you could get a song from him?
Anthony Hopkins narrating a snowflake story. It all takes place inside of a snowflake.
Yes, whereas in the other one, popular music seems to exist. The Grinch is playing top 40 hits on his organ, and everybody's talking about Jesus a surprising amount. I'm like, where does this world exist exactly?
Let me tell you, just so we can finish talking about Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins recorded all the narration for this movie in one day. Surprise, surprise.
I bet maybe in a couple hours, probably.
Oh, I did not know this. This is new. I like to see if this is really true. Jim Carrey's accent in The Grinch is based off Sean Connery.
There's a little bit of that in there, but you know what? There was also some Tony Clifton in there, I heard as well.
You're right. I put it together. That's good. This was the highest grossing Christmas movie since Home Alone. And then it was the highest grossing one until the 2018 Grinch movie.
Oh, for what?
That sucks. It sucks.
That movie
it all sucks.
does suck. And like me, I really try. I'm like, is this just me being old? Like, is this just me being all anti-Gen Z or something? But
No, it's bad.
I just can't understand what people would enjoy in that movie. I really, really, really tried to get it, and I really, really, really didn't get it. I just didn't. It didn't seem fun. It didn't seem hip. It was not emotionally engaging in any way. The Grinch's voice annoyed me. It didn't seem particularly menacing.
Oh, 2018's Grinch?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Benedict Cumberbatch doing his American accent, and it's just like, why?
Doing his American accent, but like really high up, like Daniel Day-Lewis doing Lincoln, just like, hi.
Yeah, he usually has a pretty sinister voice.
I thought that's why you casted him.
Exactly.
To take advantage of that voice.
This is so strange.
This could have been anybody in that. I wouldn't have known. Why'd you bother?
So wild.
Didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. I don't seem to like the Illumination people.
No, neither do I.
It seemed like they have minions based on the title credits, and maybe a rabbit from something. I don't know.
Rabbit? Or is it a rabbit?
Yeah, they did like, how Pixar has the lamp stepping on a thing. This one had a minion doing something, but there was also like a grumpy rabbit. I don't know. I presume from some other movie they're good at.
Yeah, I don't know Illumination's stuff too much.
Was that Julia
besides the
Roberts' Smurf movie? Was that Illumination too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's too long ago.
I don't know.
I also watched, there's a Grinch Halloween special, I guess, from the 70s.
Oh, you watched the Grinch Halloween special? Yes! I watched that piece of shit last year or 2 years ago. Wow, what a piece of shit. I can't believe you found it.
Yeah, it's just on YouTube. It's just like there. Because nobody wants to stop that.
You know what I watched? There was like a 15-minute Grinch special narrated by Walter Matthau. But the only way to watch this Walter Matthau playing the Grinch special was from someone who recorded it off their TV, and you're watching a like cell phone like footage of someone watching it on their TV from the side. Yeah. Not even like front facing, it's from the side. And I'm like, is this the only way? And I checked and I scoured the internet. That's the only place it exists. I logged it and I'm like, well, here you go.
Well, I had just typed in Grinch into Google and only 4 things came up, and it was basically these 4 IPs I just talked about. Those 2 old cartoons and then these 2 feature-length films. So I assumed that's all I had to watch. Didn't know about this Walter Matthau thing.
I'll send that one to you, and you can close off your Grinch circle.
I guess the part of my story is I guess I have no point. Old Grinch was fine.
I guess I have no point. It was like one of the few times I remember trying to go see a movie and it being sold out while I was waiting in line. Oh, wow.
Went to that Bellingham theater.
Yeah.
And we're in line. And like the next 2 showings, which were basically the next 2 hours, a 6 o'clock and a 7 o'clock, sold out. We told over the loudspeakers, excuse me, people here for the Grinch. Sold out. Everybody groaned and left. And that memory came back to me as I was watching the movie, because I thought I did end up seeing that movie, but now maybe I didn't, because I don't remember any of this happening.
Well, it would have been 25 years ago.
Yeah, I know. That could be part of it, too. So I don't know. I think this might be my first time watching it. Maybe not. Who's to say?
It wasn't mine.
Yes, I'm sure. Where does this rank in, like, the Christmas film pantheon for you?
Well, I mean, it's like definitely like second tier. It's not top tier, but it's good. Watch it every year usually.
But your kids don't like it. They want to see this new rapping Grinch movie.
Well, I mean, I don't care what they like anymore. I just put it on.
You're gonna learn to like real movies where stuff is in places, real stuff in real places.
Did I get to tell you yet that I showed Julian Flo? We watched that Sunday night.
No, you did not. Did he like it? Did he like the cat?
Absolutely loved this movie.
Wonderful.
He had a million questions. The first like 5 minutes, he's like, "No talking," and I'm like, "No talking." And he's like, "Okay." He like went on board with it pretty quickly. And he's just like, "I think the kitty's nice." And then his big thing though was like, whenever he didn't see an animal on the screen for like a few minutes, and he was just like, "They're dead." I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't know, maybe.
I'm watching the same movie you are, Julian. I don't know either.
Yeah, I mean, as the first time I watched it, and when he had questions, I'm like, I don't know, man. We gotta watch the movie, and that was how I kind of kept like detouring him to just kind of like just chilling and watching it.
Shut up, and you'll find out, Julian. It won an Academy Award. You'll figure it out.
Around the 45-minute mark, he stopped asking a lot of questions.
Okay,
he's just like, I'm on the ride now. Yeah, but like I was falling asleep because we watched it pretty late on Sunday. I was up to almost 10 with him, and I fell asleep for the last like 10 minutes on the couch with him. And then I rewound it and I watched it, but he was just like, "Daddy, that was great." I'm like, yes, good.
Finally,
enjoy art.
Yeah.
None of this fucking garbage that you watch most of the time. But
yes, I would say one of the better films from the late great Ron Howard.
Oh yes. This comes in such a strange period for him too, because I believe this is right after Ed TV. Well, I mean, he's on a pretty good run. Ed TV, another top tier Ron Howard. It's a reunion of McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Maybe their first time working together. Maybe. Not sure.
A True Detective pre-union.
Yes. And then they did a couple more movies somewhere around there. But anyways, and then he does A Beautiful Mind, where he wins the Oscar.
Boring movie.
Yeah, but sure. But this is like peak Ron Howard. He's on top of the world.
Yeah.
Giant highest grossing movie of the year. That's right. Yeah. This is the top grossing movie of 2000.
Well, then I guess it was a box office success then.
It absolutely was. As you probably figured out, many of the Grinch's lines were ad-libbed by Mr. Carrey. The first time he tried on the Grinch makeup, Jim Carrey was so uncomfortable that he kicked a hole in the wall and told Ron Howard that he couldn't play the role. He compared the experience to being buried alive. Jim Carrey's claustrophobic.
I remember us discussing that the last time he was in a movie where he had to wear a lot of makeup on his face.
Yeah. And so this movie, he's just like, put me in the suit. Let's get this shit over with.
Well, I did see a clip where he talked about it, and so he said the producer hired a CIA person to teach Jim Carrey how to survive being tortured. The CIA agent.
Wow. His
job is to teach other CIA agents how to deal with being tortured, and he was brought on to help Jim Carrey do the exact same thing.
Jim Carrey's yellow contact lenses were so uncomfortable that he wasn't able to wear them at times during filming. Some shots of his eyes were colored in post-production. So, okay. Jim Carrey was suggested for the title role by Audrey Geisel, the widow of Dr. Seuss.
Oh, Geisel.
Who controlled the rights to the book. She also suggested Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman? Well, he's kind of grumpy.
He's very grumpy, but he's short. He's very short. So it'd be a little short Grinch. Robin Williams, also a short man.
Okay, well, you know what? I get it.
And
Eddie Murphy.
Jack Nicholson. I have more on this.
Jack Nicholson just like smiling, smoking a cigar, looking at, "Hey, yo, Christine Baranski, how you doing?"
Hey.
You're looking good, aren't you, Toots?
before Carrey was cast as the Grinch, also considered were Eddie Murphy and Adam Sandler. I don't know if that feels like someone's trolling us, but yeah.
Someone got into the IMDb comments before we did the episode.
I feel like if someone was editing something.
That's how you know, like, we're picking the good right people for the show, right? These are just floating at the top because they're all just people. Up there.
Yeah. It won an Academy Award for Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
This season, great for makeup and hair. Eddie's winning them. Jim now won one. All their movies. Doing well in the makeup.
Also nominated for Best Production Design and Best Costume Design. And Carrey earned another Golden Globe nomination. Should have got an Oscar. Did Russell... No, who won in 2000? Who won in 2000? Come on.
Probably was Russell Crowe, wasn't it?
Was it? Because I don't remember. I can never remember if he won it for Gladiator or for A Beautiful Mind. I can never remember. It was Gladiator because... that 2001 year was Adrian Brody, right? No, is it not? I'm going crazy now. I'm looking it up. Thought so. I know Connolly won, right? That's okay. So Crowe won for Gladiator. He should have won for the what is that movie called? The movie he had the year before, the Michael Mann movie with Al Pacino about the cigarettes.
About the cigarettes.
Isn't it about the cigarettes? I'm really tired now. My energy's like I came in hot and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, you used it all up, you fool.
I did. Okay, here we go. It is, because I know it's not a movie that I want to say. It is called The Insider. He should have won for The Insider. A great movie. But he didn't. Because fucking Kevin Spacey had to win a second Oscar for American Beauty. A movie that we all remember and love and cherish. Odd. It fucked up and kind of really weird.
Yeah, but that plastic bag, though.
Sexy. Something more beautiful than a plastic bag blowing in the wind.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think anyone gets that reference anymore. That movie's dated.
Yeah, he's recording it on a DV tape. Nobody knows what that... They're like, why aren't you using your phone, beanie kid?
You know, it just would have been so much better if Spacey didn't win the second Oscar. Russell Crowe won for The Insider, and then the next year, clean slate, Carrey's got it. Give him the Oscar. Then we don't have to deal with him being like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to make some really bad comedies. Have 7 of them in a row. And I'm like, oh, God.
I don't think that's related to his desire to win an Oscar for The Grinch.
He worked his ass off for it, and... he went through hell.
The Grinch movie was never going to win an acting Oscar. It was not in the cards.
Well, you
the
don't
Academy's
know
not
that.
voting for The Grinch. I just sang a whole song about it.
It's my hill to die on, and I've died.
Okay, that's fine. It looked like one of the Who's, aside from, the ones we know, Christine Baranski and Molly Shannon and the Arrested Development guy. One of the Who's. It looked like one of the guys, one of the spectators from A Waterboy.
Oh, you mean Ron Howard's brother?
Yeah.
Did you know that, or are you just fucking with me?
I do.
It's really fucked up that A Beautiful Mind, a movie that I thought was boring as hell, on a budget of $58 million, made $316 million.
It's a different time, Joe. Where adult movies of people talking could make lots and lots of money.
Just crazy.
Which that world is gone. We haven't educated our movie-going audience as well as we used to.
What is Oppenheimer then?
That's a good point.
I know Nolan's like a rare breed now.
But I also the Barbie factor of that I think is real.
Yes.
I think that was a very, very important... If Beautiful Mind came out today right after because that doesn't contrast with Barbie very well. A beautiful Barbie.
A beautiful Barbie. You got it right there. Yeah, but I also think that Oppenheimer also helped Barbie because it made it feel like it was... you get a little bit of like homework, but you get to have fun after. And it was like a big thing.
I think Barbie was going to make a lot of money regardless because it's such a weird idea. If Oppenheimer had come out, 3 months later in the awards bait season, I think it does not make as much money. I think it's still a successful movie, but I don't think it is what it is now.
Yeah.
I don't think the Odyssey movie will do as well and I like The Odyssey.
The movie that has everybody from Hollywood in it.
Yeah,
Every A-list star is in that movie. It's insane.
Jim Carrey got himself a Riddler hideout in this movie. Speaking of that Academy Award-nominated production design. Got a Riddler hideout, and it had the monkey from that Osgood Perkins film, The Monkey, in it.
Yes. Very topical.
Yeah.
No other movie has featured so many characters in heavy makeup and costumes since... Do you want to guess the movie? Very famous movie. Big Hollywood famous movie from a long time ago.
The syntax on your sentence was a little weird. The movie is before this Grinch movie.
Before this Grinch movie. No other movie has featured so many characters in heavy makeup and costumes since... Do you want a year? Because you'll get it from the year.
Yeah, give me a year.
1939.
Oh, jeez.
Think of a very big Hollywood picture.
Yeah.
Very famous movie.
A Wizard of Oz?
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
The next one was going to be like it was remade last year or whatever it is.
It was?
Wicked. Whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, yeah. I already forgot about it. I saw the movie 4 months ago. I already forgot about it.
Watched the first 45 minutes. Haven't wanted to revisit it. The Whoville set was built mostly on the backlot of Universal Studios behind the Bates Motel. Interesting. During a break in filming, Jim Carrey surprised and scared tourists on the Universal backlot tour by running out of the hotel wearing a dress and brandishing a knife. Nobody recognized him, and the tour guide at Universal Studios would tell you the story when he passed by the hotel on the backlot tour.
So people just think an actual crazy person wielding a knife is running around during tours?
I don't know.
They'd be like, we got to call the cops.
I mean, I would think it would just be like someone doing the Bates Motel tour.
Okay.
Like that's their job. Run around with a knife looking crazy. But that's funny. He's just having some fun. This was when Jim was having a laugh. He doesn't have those dark circles around his eyes.
Jim in character. He's like, I'm going to kill Christmas.
He's getting nominations left and right. Jim Carrey spent 92 days in Grinch makeup, spending 2 hours in the morning getting in and 1 hour in the evening to get out. According to Carrey, he became a Zen master while sitting in the makeup chair.
That's that CIA training paying off.
Jim Carrey's Grinch suit is covered in yak hair, which was dyed green and sewn onto a spandex suit.
I'm actually really impressed they could do it in 2 hours, especially since in the clip he was saying in the first day it took 8.5 hours.
Well, they gotta figure it out.
Yeah. But 2 hours, like, it just doesn't look like a 2 hour make. It feels like one of those things where you're like, yep, he's in the chair for 5 hours, and then we get to shoot for 3 hours with him, and then he's back in the chair to take it all off. We're paying crazy amounts of overtime.
Producer and director Ron Howard was so thankful for Jim Carrey putting up with the uncomfortable hours to apply his makeup that during the filming, he put on the Grinch suit with full makeup and directed one day with the suit on. I want behind-the-scenes photos. I need it now. I demand it. He intended this to be a show of appreciation to Carrey. However, when Carrey saw Howard in full Grinch outfit, he was angered, believing he was a stunt double who looked nothing like him. What a dick. He always has to make it about himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that's what the star system does to our actors. Encourages that kind of thinking.
You already read that. Yeah. The Grinch directing his dog, Max, before stealing Christmas is a result of Jim Carrey making fun of producer and director Ron Howard, imitating his style of directing. Howard found the scene hilarious and decided to include it in the movie. Yeah, Ron Howard is not like precious with his self-image.
No.
Clearly dressing up like a fucking Grinch for a couple of hours to direct his movie. He's not precious about it, and that's endearing. I like this Mr. Ron Howard.
So Jim Carrey on set in Grinch makeup just found like a hat and put it on and was like just riffing in front of a live camera with film, or like he just was doing it.
Oh yeah, because this was film. They didn't have digital shit
so
back
it's not like they just like, I'll leave the camera rolling. We'll see what happens. Or was he just like doing a bit for the crew while they were setting up a shot?
It has to be.
Jim Carrey, for the third movie in a row, between Jim and Eddie, shoving their face in some people's breasts. The year 2000 was just the year of grown men putting their faces in breasts. That was the year.
Wow, it's a whole year, right? Because we did. It was me, myself, and Irene. Clumps.
The clumps, and now this.
And it's just like he's got the mistletoe. He's like, missile.
Yeah.
And then he puts it from his butt. Yeah. Jim Carrey admitted to feeling ashamed for not trying to prevent some of the adult humor in this movie, and he has repeatedly stated that all of the jokes he ad-libbed were age-appropriate. He then found out that the producer and director, Ron Howard, had removed many other jokes that were even raunchier, but had to keep some of it due to what they both claim as a studio interference.
Oh, that sounds normal. Some things never change.
Let's see, Jim Carrey actually contorts his face muscles to get the Grinch's sinister grin. It is not prosthetic.
Felt like there was one. They like slowed down. They did this awkward kind of slow motion thing to it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know this movie so well.
And I was like,
exactly
maybe they had to like up that a little bit in the computer, but good for him. The narrator says, obviously because it's in the book, like the Grinch was all grumpy about Christmas and no one knew why. But it seemed like everybody kind of knew why. They had a very detailed backstory. You know, they're throwing all their trash at his house. Whereas in the original Grinch, in the 2018 Grinch, he just like walks into town. Everybody's like, oh, hi, Grinch. How you doing? He's just like, meh.
Yeah, it sucks.
He's just like, he's not even grumpy about it. He's just a sad sack. I never really bought that he would even steal Christmas.
Yeah, no, that movie sucks.
You would sand it down the Grinch
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't even buy that he would steal Christmas. That's how you know you effed up. At least in this movie, they like I wasn't like fully buying into this backstory of like, oh, they were mean to him one Christmas one day. But at least it tied into this anti-consumerist bent the movie was trying to take. The Grinch was like, oh, I can never impress this girl I like because I don't have any money and I can't buy her nice things. And then he gets re-triggered by it when the Jeffrey Tambor buys her the nice car. And so then it becomes like, well, I'm going to steal Christmas and take away all your nice things. Like, okay, well, now we've got a through line here. And then the Cindy Lou character's whole thing is like, Christmas has to be about something more. It can't just be about buying stuff. I don't feel fulfilled by buying things. Cindy Lou in the cartoon, she's just like, oh, I just want to be nice to my mom because my mom's so boring and plain and nice all the time, working so hard. Was she? I didn't ever see her work. I didn't. That never even. Did never.
In the movie, in the Carrey movie, the mom is like super into decorating the house against Christine Baranski's house.
Yeah, it's about outdoing the neighbor, right? It's not about spiritly goodness, right? The Who's had to learn that by getting their stuff taken away and be like, no, it's okay that we got out of hand. We screwed up. Thanks, the Grinch. You taught us a valuable lesson. So when he comes back, everybody's like, yeah, all right, Grinch, we appreciate you. 2018 movie, nothing.
Yeah, it's almost like they took this adaptation and really fleshed out the story, and it should have been like recognized for being such a great adaptation of a book that is very small. And
don't Academy Award the script, Joe.
I want to know what's against it that year.
And in this movie, they're afraid of him in Whoville. Like, he has to sneak around and be hiding because, like, nobody wants him there.
Yeah, he travels through the garbage disposal. It's great.
And the other one, he just, like, limps along through it. He's got his stupid sleigh wagon or whatever. And then they try to, like, sing a lot of carols at him.
It's dumb.
They sing Jesus carols at him or Spanish Christmas. Feliz Navidad exists in that world.
I didn't enjoy anything from that movie, but the only thing that I was like, I like this a little bit is the Kenan Thompson character.
That storyline also went nowhere. Just like this guy who thinks he's the Grinch's friend, and the Grinch is like, meh, you're just kind of a lot, dude.
I just like Kenan, though.
And then, like, they never patched things up or teamed up at I don't know. It was like, why is he there? What was the point?
Jim Carrey would smoke often in order to cope with the stress caused by his intense makeup, which he compared to being buried alive. That's his go-to. However, as his suit was covered in flammable yak hair, he had to use a very long cigarette holder in order to. This guy, look, what a diva! Like, yeah.
You should have got him a vape pen, you fools.
They did not exist back then. Benedict Cumberbatch would have been using a vape pen if that was the case. Let's see. This is a long one, and it's kind of retreading a little bit, but I think it's still a good story. The actual time it took to apply Jim Carrey's Grinch makeup was around 2 hours and 15 minutes, despite Carrey's claim that it took 8 hours. Makeup artist Kazuhiro is very vocal about his difficult experience working with Carrey. On set, Carrey was really mean to everybody, and at the beginning of the production, they couldn't fit. Maybe he was just like really like into the character. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we've heard this before.
After 2 weeks, we only could finish 3 days worth of shooting schedule. What a piece of shit. Because suddenly he would just disappear, and when he came back, everything was ripped apart. We couldn't shoot anything. Things escalated to the point where Hero had to leave the production for a few days until director Ron Howard called him back, promising that Carrey would keep his temper in check. What a baby. Hero returned to production to continue applying Carrey's makeup, but cited it as the worst experience of his life and one of the reasons why he initially retired from the film business. Oh my God.
I like this idea of Jim Carrey disappearing for large spans of time in full Grinch makeup. Where is he hiding?
And he's like smoking his long cigarette.
He's the most noticeable person on that whole studio lot in his giant green yak hair makeup, and you can't find him.
Well, sometimes he's running off in a dress with a knife.
All interns, be on the lookout for giant green man.
Taylor Momsen later reflected on her role as Cindy Lou Who. The Grinch changed my life in a multitude of ways. One of them being I was made fun of relentlessly. Every time I would start a new school or go somewhere else, I don't even think the kids knew my name. I was just Grinch Girl. Not even the character name, just Grinch Girl. I got used to it, but it was so alienating. This fucking movie, it's got the scars on everybody.
I'm surprised they could recognize her. She just was like generic blonde girl. I don't know, there's a million of those.
When the Grinch drove the little car while destroying Christmas, Jim Carrey said it was really hard to drive and it took him forever to get the feel of the car. Has anything come easy with this guy?
It does look like a hard vehicle to drive. I don't blame him.
Of course. I just think he's just a little baby right now.
But it's nice they made him, he actually had a little car to drive. That wouldn't happen now.
Exactly. Just sit in this box, Carrey, and you're not going to move. Just make it look like you're moving. All right. And start the wind up and action.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it again.
Yes.
Martha May Whovian, Christine Baranski's nose appears to be sculpted to look more human, giving her a more attractive appearance. What is this? Who wrote that? That is someone's opinion.
Well, Grinch Girl didn't have any fancy nose either. I'm just like, oh, they wanted her to look like cute little girl, but everybody else gets to look like a total weirdo.
Yes. The ambassador of Christmas, Mariah Carey, wrote the song "Where Are You Christmas," and it was performed by Faith Hill.
Yeah, why didn't you just sing it too? What, you couldn't pay her to write and sing it?
I don't know. Carey was initially set to release her recording of the song, but due to a legal dispute between herself and her ex-husband, Tommy Mottola, who was also the chairman of Carey's label, this is Mariah Carey, at the time, she was unable to do so. Hill was then brought in to re-record the song. Carey still retained songwriting credit, while Hill retained producing credit.
I guess it's a good way to start your career, marrying your record label owner, but maybe you don't divorce them later to get with Nick Cannon. I don't know.
Well, she's probably doing fine because she owns Christmas now with those couple songs. Yeah, like everybody knows, as soon as Halloween's over, it's Mariah Carey's turn to take over Christmas.
To sing the same fucking 3 songs again and again. Yeah.
Yep. Max originally was going to be a CGI dog to give him comical expressions. Thank God. That would have been fucking awful. And just to tell you how long this movie has held in the public, I went to Universal Studios with Tanya back then. When we went to California for our first vacation, and we got a picture of Max. If I can find the picture, I have a horrible haircut, but I'll put it up wherever we put things up.
Yeah.
And I have a video of the Grinch because we met the Grinch. That is 20 years after the movie came out. And it's not the fucking Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch. That's the Grinch that's in Universal Studios going around
Grinch,
terrorizing everybody.
Because the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch wouldn't terrorize anybody. He'd just be like standing, that meme of the guy in the corner and being like, they don't even know I stole Christmas.
They don't even know I stole Christmas. For a while, Tim Burton was considered to direct, but he could not due to a conflict with another movie. He directed the fucking Planet of the Apes. Boo! Boo!
The Grinch feels like it would have been right up his alley, like especially with what Ron Howard did. Like Burton would have done that, and it would have been like 211.
I think we needed Ron Howard to get his freak on, though. This is his freaky movie.
It is, but like, I don't know, you just swap them. Ron Howard does Planet of the Apes. Tim Burton does this. Everybody's where they belong.
Because Tim Burton directing Planet of the Apes is the real hinge on his career, where he's just like, he starts making all bad movies now.
Just less fun.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Like, Sleepy Hollow's fine. Mars Attacks, fun. We watched it.
I am curious how Jim and Tim would get along.
Jim and Tim.
Jim and Tim.
Oh, we can add Tom Hanks and Tim Curry to also being considered to play the Grinch.
I was just thinking, too, I'm like, I don't know if I'd love Adam Sandler as the Grinch.
No, that would suck.
It's
just not his vibe. He's not going to steal Christmas. He's a slacker. He's like too slacker to steal Christmas.
Let me steal a little Christmas for y'all, yeah. Because I like Hanukkah more.
Fooby-dooby-doo.
A hoobly-doo is a Whovian.
Okay, I think we nailed it.
You nailed it?
Yeah.
So, all right. The Grinch. You happy Jim Carrey's in your Christmas rotation?
Of course. This movie's fun. But now I really can just enjoy it all for Ron Howard being the little freak that he is. This is all his idea.
Yeah, it was a nice...
He had to get it all together. He had to force Jim to get in that suit every day and be like, come on, which, good on him. Good director.
It's NBA coaching. He's just managing personalities.
Right? Yeah, so this movie's fun. Not perfect, but it's fun. I will tell you it had a budget of $123 million. Would you like to guess the box office for the highest grossing movie of 2000 and domestically?
Domestically. Like 330 million.
Wow. So close.
Ooh,
so close. 347.
Okay.
Price is Right rules, you win. This is the sixth highest grossing film of 2000 worldwide. Behind Mission Impossible 2, Gladiator, Castaway, What Women Want, holy shit, and a movie we've watched.
The Clumps.
Dinosaur.
Wow, that movie made that much money? That movie's so boring.
That movie made $349 million.
Wow, really?
Over it. So The Grinch beats Meet the Parents, The Perfect Storm, X-Men. Crazy that it beats
what a world
superhero movie.
We were in.
And What Lies Beneath. What Lies Beneath made $291 million.
Michelle Pfeiffer. She's bringing in all those box office bucks.
Absolutely. Well, Harrison Ford as well. But
whatever. A
Clark Gregg script. Did you know that?
Clark Gregg from The New Adventures of Old Christine. No, that's Greg Clark. I'm sorry.
Greg Clark. Don't mix them up. Yeah, Meet the Parents. That was a big one, too. Holy shit. I watched that this year. That movie's fine. I don't think it's worth $330 million.
I know, but listen to that top 10 list, right? That would never happen today.
True.
So many not superhero films, so many not IP.
So much variety.
I know.
You got an adult thriller in there. You got a Christmas comedy.
Yeah.
You've got Swords and Sandals epic.
Yeah, had a little bit of everything there. It was a nice variety.
Well, I think we might be kind of starting to head into that direction. Starting to. We're not there at all, but we're starting to. A good chunk of those
movies don't even sound like they'd go to theaters anymore.
Maybe this year will be different.
Maybe. We'll see.
I know we're not off to a great start. But
with our 4 copycat John Wick films and 1 actual John Wick film coming out.
Okay, so let me talk about Novocaine for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Didn't love it.
Okay.
Didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But I will say, again, Jack Quaid, innocent, charming,
fine,
lovely.
Whatever.
Rude. No,
whatever.
He's good.
Yeah, okay. Don't care.
And I was nervous because I saw him the first time with clean shaven, and I'm like, what are we doing here? This is weird. I like him with the scruff, but he was very good. He's got a winning personality, very charismatic.
Okay.
So it makes the movie better. He's not a fucking stick.
Yeah, I don't know. An actor, I don't know. I rarely get caught up in that.
I would just
get bored.
Is this face blindness? You like certain actors though.
But it's my connection. Why I like TV actors so much, I guess, is because I'm watching them every week for years at a time.
I get that.
They're like my family.
Well, hey, guess what? I want you to watch Jack Quaid and something. So watch The Boys. Apparently, that's a show that he's on Amazon.
I'm not watching that show. I don't
want to watch it, but he's in it.
You watch it. I'm not watching it. All right. Well, we got last looks on The Grinch.
The Grinch. Let me just double check. I don't think it's my number 1 Carrey, but it's top tier Carrey for sure.
But not top tier Christmas.
Not top tier Christmas. No, because that's, my friend, that is a bracket all upon itself.
Okay.
We have some classics in there. No, I have this ranked number 2.
Number 2 for your gym. You've seen all the gyms, and you're already ready to rank them all.
No, what the gyms that I have seen so far that we have gone through, I have it ranked number 2.
Just one shy of Finders Keepers, The Grinch?
Liar Liar is my top gym.
Okay, I got you.
I don't think that's going to change, so there's no real spoiler on that. I said that when we watched it. That's peak.
Peak, okay.
Top of the mountain.
But we're near peak here.
Well, this is peak Ron Howard, as we can see.
It certainly is. Ron Howard trying. You don't see that too often.
A couple of, like, what? How much did Ed T... I don't think that movie made money, but if he had 3 over $100 million grossers in a row, that would be crazy. Let's see. Ed TV. Oh, shit. Fuck. He needed these 2 movies in a row. Oh, my God. $80 million budget on Ed TV. How the fuck is that happening? It made 35. That's insane. I did not know the movie was a bomb. That's really bad.
It's nice of them letting him do The Grinch.
Yeah, wow. He must have been in production on The Grinch before that movie was even like...
Looking at the wide scale, though, it does seem Hollywood's more okay with you having bad movies than having no movies at all. They're like, well, you know, you didn't do great, but we know you can do it.
Just to bring it back to the Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah.
Second build in Ed TV, I completely forgot. Jenna Elfman.
Oh, look at that. Trying to get out of Dharma and Greg prison.
Maybe it's the cast. The cast is kind of weird. Matthew McConaughey, Jenna Elfman, Woody Harrelson, Ellen DeGeneres, Martin Landau, Rob Reiner, Dennis Hopper. Do not remember him in that movie.
I mean, other
Hurley.
than Dennis Hopper, those are all TV guys. I guess not Matthew McConaughey.
Well, Woody's been in. He's.
I know he's
in
been in
the
movies,
90s, he's a
but
movie
like
guy now.
TV guy.
Well, wasn't he just in like a movie where he was in a bunch? No, Woody is definitely the Hollywood star now because he's got Natural Born Killers, White Man Can't Jump, the People versus Larry Flint. Like these are all like mid 90s movies that were huge, that were like nominated and stuff. Not White Man Can't Jump, but like that was fun.
So yeah, definitely not that movie.
Like that one's innocent. It's a basketball movie. Hey, and that movie made 3 times the amount as fucking Ed TV. Yeah, last looks on Grinch.
Yeah,
good times. Loved it since it came out. Regular rotation. Good movie. You won't be revisiting it this year?
No. But like I might in future Christmases.
Oh, good.
When little Patrick's come along and I've run through all the Bellatar films with them, I'd be
Did
like,
let's say plural?
I gotta do the pyramid scheme, children. I gotta have one to take care of the other one.
That's not how it works. You have a lot of education to go through on this. They like to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I know you're an only child, but no.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Why does Jim do this movie? It's a good question. He must have known it was gonna be a lot of makeup.
He must have known it was gonna be the fucking.
What did he? I don't know what he expected
shit
there.
show.
Maybe they just paid him enough to do it, or.
Yeah, I wish they told us how much they paid him.
It does seem like if he's like keeping in mind the type of humor and not wanting it to be too adult and wanting to be this kind of kid-friendly family thing, maybe there's a part of him that like wanted to give that to the people, like give this wonderful Christmas thing to people. Maybe there's that weird altruistic part of him, despite being a jerk on set.
He made $20 million for it.
It's high, but not Cable Guy high.
Including a $5 million upfront payment, 4% of the box office gross, 50% of merchandising revenue, 70% of book tie-in profits, and music-related income.
Oh, well,
Well, he did it. He's fine.
Certainly got a shit ton of money from all that ancillary stuff.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay.
Glad it was worth it. Plus now, if he ever gets tortured by a foreign government, he now knows how to handle it. So, really worth the time and money, I suppose.
Definitely.
All right, well, I'd like to thank our sponsors, TiVo. I hope they still exist as at the end of this recording. I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
I'm sure someone's using it still.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? If me and Joe's mom are using Rabbit Ear TV to watch the old people channels, I'm sure somebody out there is using TiVo. And I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping us sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night. Also, we got a lot to talk about today. I got a lot on my mind from seeing those fucking trailers yesterday for the millionth time. Man, oh man. Do you want me to start are we going?
From seeing what trailers?
The Sinners trailer, which I'm so excited for, the new Ryan Coogler movie.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with this.
That's fine. You're going to see it though,
as
right?
man who perennially avoids trailers.
Yes. So this one I only bring up because every fucking movie where there's like a psychopath trying to like who's like locked away, who's trying to get at the protagonist, they do the fucking Shining shot, which I get it. It's very effective. The one I'm talking about is like, so you are on the bottom, the camera is like on the bottom of the frame, and it's looking up at the crazy person hitting his head against the door. And I'm like, how many fucking times do I have to see this shot? Like, in the last, 10 months. So many times. I'm like, come on, guys. Try something new.
We all like The Shining. We get it.
Yes, pay homage, but, come on, guys. when you've seen it in, the last couple of years, come on. Enough.
It sounds like our script's got to get a little more creative.
Yeah.
All right, maybe the psychopath. Stop locking yourselves in a room with a psychopath chasing you. Just get out. Just get out.
So, and then my other gripe. There was another trailer that drove me crazy, though. A lot of these trailers just obviously give away too much. And it's just hint at it. Just hint at the big reveals.
They don't know how to make trailers anymore. They assume that nobody wants to go see the movie, and so they have to give you everything all up front.
Exactly. It drives me crazy. There was something that happened I saw yesterday that I was like, this would be so many things I want to. First of all, I know you do not give a fuck about any of the John Wick movies, right? You don't care about those. Okay, so you must really not care about this new movie called Ballerina. Oh, excuse me. It's not titled Ballerina anymore because every studio has lost confidence in its audience. No matter how big or how much money this franchise has made, it doesn't matter. They need to, no matter how much they hint at it, they keep saying the places that John Wick goes, but they don't say his name, and they introduce all the side characters. There's a character in the movie that is dead, and somehow he's alive in the movie. So they must have shot it so fucking long ago. And so I'm just like, okay, but you've named off a bunch of key characters from the franchise. You've named off key places in the franchise. You don't need to say the name John Wick or even bring Keanu Reeves in your fucking movie trailer. Just save it. Save it for a big reveal in the movie. Have confidence in your audience to say, give them a word of mouth. Hey, John Wick's in the movie. Go check it out. It's cool. Something. Enough. Because they've toned down the trailer a little bit. I've seen this trailer so many fucking times because this movie's been delayed so many times because they have no confidence in this movie. No confidence to the fact that they renamed the Ballerina movie to From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. That is the official title of that movie. That sucks.
Okay.
I'm so worked up about it. It just sucks.
Okay.
Just like how they have to. What was the other one they renamed that was so fucking awful? Just all the Mad Max story, Furiosa. You don't have fucking confidence that is going to be a Mad Max movie? Jesus Christ! Can't take it anymore.
Well, my suggestion is just don't make those movies anyway. But we're here.
If George Miller wanted to make a fun movie with some cool car chases in it, and it's in his Mad Max world, let him fucking make it. Retitling that movie didn't save that from being, destroyed at the box office. It's terrible. I hate it. Stop retitling our movies. Zaslav, coming for you.
Zaslav, who just sold the Looney Tunes?
Yes, he finally sold that fucking movie to Ketchup Entertainment, right? To Ketchup buy it?
I have an article here from the IndieWire. Warner Brothers' mishandling of Looney Tunes under David Zaslav is nothing new, just extremely silly. By Bill Desowitz and Sarah Shaschat. Animation historian Jerry Beck. That's one guy's job, just the historian of animation.
That's a big job.
Tells IndieWire how programming decisions have hurt one of Warner Brothers Discovery's most valuable IPs in the past, And it's also kind of funny because I guess there's a movie out now that's doing well, and
it's doing great.
Warner Brothers could have had that, I suppose. While it looks like there may yet be some justice in the case of Coyote vs. Acme, if indeed it finds a new home or a theatrical release with catch-up entertainment, fans of Looney Tunes still find themselves at the mercy of far greater forces than Bugs Bunny behind an animator's desk. Warner Brothers Discovery pulled its catalog of original Looney Tunes cartoons of animated shorts that stretched from 1930 to 1969. Nice. Beginning on March 16th as part of a wider effort to rebrand the streaming platform as a place much more for adult and family content. Why isn't Looney Tunes family content?
I guess there's some insensitive stuff.
All right, well, I don't know. You put that in the special break in case
just
of
like Disney does.
thing.
How about how we have all these insensitive depictions of whatever. Go on.
One consolation is that there are some iterations of Looney Tunes made between 1995 and 2022 that are still available. Another is that it isn't the first time Warner Brothers has decided to vanish Looney Tune content. Back in the early 2000s, Warner Brothers pulled Looney Tune cartoons off of Cartoon Network, where previously the likes of Elmer Fudd and Foghorn Leghorn had shared programming space with Batman and Fred Flintstone. But Warner Brothers left a void they themselves tried to fill with different Looney Tunes cartoons. It was a year or so before Looney Tunes Back in Action was released. Is that a movie? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's like a 2003 movie with Brendan Fraser.
I guess the movie wasn't good.
It wasn't successful, but it's got its fans.
Oh, yes, here it is. Animation historian and Cal Arts professor Jerry Beck told IndieWire, and of course, Back in Action tanked because they took away all the other stuff that would have gotten people excited, right? You're releasing a movie, but you got rid of all acknowledgement of its existing beforehand.
Well, it was supposed to be like a sequel to Space Jam in some kind of way where they were going to do a race car thing or a golf thing with Tiger Woods, like race car with Jeff Gordon or something. I don't know.
The Tiger Woods would have been funny in hindsight.
No, they didn't do that. Instead, they got Brendan Fraser and Jenna Elfman.
Oh, I remember that movie, or at least the trailers of it.
Yeah.
In August of 2024, Warner Brothers also put the kibosh on Genndy Tartarovsky's R-rated Looney Tunes-inspired 2D film Fixed from New Line and Sony Pictures Animation about a dog that has 24 hours to have fun before getting neutered. That may be another rescue mission for catch-up if Coyote vs. Acme goes well. Whatever the streaming performance numbers on Max, Looney Tunes has always been a healthy IP, and the top studio brass's dismissal of Duffy and his chums, I presume that means Daffy, Duffy, hasn't stopped non-stop licensing and merchandising of Looney Tunes characters, but it's a bit of a lonely echo of the standard operating procedures a couple of decades ago when a young Eric Bauza, now the voice of Daffy and Porky in The Day the World Blew Up, would spend all of his allowance money on Looney Tunes merch at the mall while watching the cartoons, practicing his Mel Blanc impression. You look at the competitors from across the street and they're just cranking out shows left and right and center with those characters, multiple shows with these beloved characters. Granted, they do have a nice theme park, and we have a small section of Six Flags, Bowser told IndieWire. I wish it was different. Beck told IndieWire that Warner Brothers Discovery seems much more comfortable placing their bets on Batman and some DC Comics IP, with Hanna-Barbera stalwarts like Scooby-Doo filling in the gaps when it comes to animation. They can never go wrong with those, Beck said. Well, I mean, they used to say that about Looney Tunes, right? DC and Batman in particular also have the benefit of playing far more into the darker fantasy world that anchor HBO's favorite live-action children, Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. Well, they haven't done anything with Harry Potter, except make a movie series they canceled.
You don't know about this, do you?
Oh, uh-oh.
God.
What is it?
They're making a Max Harry Potter TV show.
About what?
Everybody's clamoring for it. They've recast certain roles, and people were like, well, that doesn't line up to...
So now it's like they're adults. Harry Potter, the college years?
It's literally just the books again.
Oh, that'll be boring.
I just don't understand why we have to, we already did it.
Right.
Why?
We did it. The movies are magical. You made so much money.
Yeah.
You're going to go again?
You have a whole theme park dedicated to it that is very lucrative for you, and yet I don't understand any of it. No, everybody that I know that likes Harry Potter is like, what? We don't need this. I don't get it. Sure, introduce a new... but that's what the movies are for. You have 8 of them. That's great. They're also actually just being replayed in the theater right now, which is weird, and they're making money.
Even if the Looney Tunes put their spin on more operas, there's a lighthearted, clever playfulness that doesn't quite fit the current grim, dark brand, which, quite frankly, Harry Potter, not a particularly grim IP, I would say. Batman, meh, not actually all that grim. You fucking wusses. Looney Tunes also fights against the tide that is currently running away from 2D animation, a tide I've long since rallied against myself.
Hell yeah.
Leave 2D alone, you idiots. The industry seems to have moved on, but 2D will exist and continue. There are always rumors that Pixar or DreamWorks have a 2D feature in development, and my animation students at CalArts, Woodbury, and UCLA are chomping at the bit to join a hand-drawn project. There's a lot of talent waiting in the wings for a revival, Beck said. That's the cartoon historian guy. I believe that will happen at some point. In fact, the beauty of 2D is something that the day the Earth blew up hopes to use Looney Tunes to prove. 2D is a kind of lost art form and hopefully a movie that will revive interest, Bowser says. It's a very Art Deco style, and that's all the writer, producer, animator Alex Kirwan's, it's all part of his film. He's a big Art Deco guy and harkens back to the Mary Blair type style, very simple shapes. We also have an artist named Nick Cross who did some of the art direction on this, a lot of the painting. Just some renaissance of artists worked on this, I believe. A true revival will need the success of more than one feature film and some willingness on Warner Brothers' Discovery part to reinvest in the inventive mayhem of Looney Tunes. The cartoons just need to be out there on some platform to support it. But the good news is that even if there aren't on Max anymore, the iconic characters aren't in danger of fading into the Merry Melodies title cards in the sky. All the Looney Tunes are available on a free broadcast channel that anyone could pick up, Me TV Tunes.
Hey, yeah, guess what? My kid watches that every morning at his grandma's house.
Hey, very cool. Just like me. We got the old people rabbit ears antenna.
Yep.
Me and Joe's parents. All you need is an antenna, Beck said. In New York and LA, Me TV Tunes is on Spectrum Cable and Friendly TV and the Philo apps, whatever those are, and multiple broadcast hubs. All right, so Saha Zaslav maybe screws up again. I was hoping he'd get lambasted for letting the NBA rights go, but I guess that ended up being a smart move, so oh well.
Is it?
So all the articles are like, NBA overcharges for its declining ratings, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I get it. Whatever. Fuck off.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, I mean, our movie is very much inspired by the old Looney Tunes of old, I would say. Being that it seems to pay a surprising amount of homage to the old cartoon made by Chuck Jones.
Chuck Jones, yes.
So I guess we'll talk about that movie then, once I drink this water.